Okay, hey guys!
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Over.
Yes, first day of 2016. Yay!
Okay, so like we said in our previous video, we're gonna do
year-end review
of every single thing
which
that
is
happened.
just yesterday.
Yeah. Everything happened in 2015. Yeah. So 2015 was the start. Actually, I believe it was maybe
Start of
end
generation.
of 2014.
Yeah.
I can't remember clearly, but it was start of
That
this
was
guy.
awesome because we had a new generation of Vanguards.
Yes.
Being, Strike.
G units.
G units. We call them G units lah. So
Which
this is first of its kind.
Yeah, they're actually really interesting cards because the back is entirely different.
Yep.
Silver backing. And this one's a bit different, as in the first ever G unit, Harmonix
Messiah. That's featured in the movie. Yay.
And to use the G unit, you drop a grade 3 or grade 3 equivalent cards from hand to drop zone to stride into it, which is a new mechanic they have for Vanguard G.
And because of that, it gave birth to new booster sets.
Now they put the word G inside.
Yeah, new stuff. So our first set being Vanguard G GBT01 Strike generation. So in this new generation, Bushu actually introduced a new clan, Gear Chronicle, which is a new mechanic of returning cards to the bottom of the deck. It's a pretty fun mechanic as well. Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yep. So
also introduce a new kind of rarity known as a
generation
rare, which will be showing you guys in this series of videos.
This is the first of all the episodes that we're gonna show you, featuring the first booster, which is GBT01.
Yep. So let's dig in. Let's open this up. Let's see whether we get anything.
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, we actually got a foil, huh? Cool.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's Kanzen. So this time around, right, with the new generation, right, the Kanzens were introduced with a new ability, which was the ability to unflip a damage if you actually have one Kanzen in the drop zone.
So also they put in a new restriction for the Prophet Guards is that if you were to guard it, you can guard for the Vanguard and only from your hand.
Yep. You can't guard from your deck
for deck or for drop zone or for rear guards or whatever.
Specifically for Vanguard only.
Yep.
And for this set, the main card or the cover card, Chronos Command Dragon, the GR. Yeah. This was pretty much sought after when it was first released because it was like quite dope.
So interesting about this set is that when it was first released, the booster pack itself was included into the starter set of the trial decks. So starter sets are basically you have a trial deck, you have the sleeves, you have a deck box,
and then they give you one pack of the booster. Yeah.
Although they only did this for the first set, I believe. Second one
already.
So they had this
the cover card,
Chronos
Command, the very first of its kind, the GR. Okay, it's like a SP texture.
This is SP texture.
Yep.
And it's usually the GR started a trend of like cards you only want one off if preferable. Although that changed a bit later on, but this made people believe that all GRs are like one off cards.
One off cards, yes.
So Cross Command's an effect is if the attack of this unit hits the Vanguard, you can pay the cost of Counter Blast 2, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from hand to return all your opponent's units to the bottom deck. Which at that time, at this card's release, even Gear Chronicle players might not even want to play this. They just play it because they have the card.
Because the cost is quite heavy as well.
The cost is quite heavy and usually by first strike you might not even have the Counter Blast 2 and second strike onwards there are better cards to use.
Yep.
So that's Gear Chronicle. So this set, it also boosted other clans.
Yep. Royal Paladin and Kagero.
Yep. So we have these two.
Yeah. So they actually featured Royal Paladin, which is the same blow.
Yep. And for Kagero there is Root Flare.
Yep.
So
you want to talk more a bit about the skills?
Yeah, we should.
Right. So we'll start with same blow first.
Same blow. So same blow is they didn't even need a powerful strike. The Trial Deck Strike Goblet, which is the strike which if the attack hits, condition is similar to Chronos Command attack hit. The last time I called a grade 2, was really good enough. But having a strike which gives an inbuilt critical, which was good.
Yeah, it was because they also featured for every guy is plus 3k. So it's like a beefed up version of Vanguard itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
So one thing about same blow was that even though Royals got this as their so-called intended by Bushu, the intended card they needed, they actually got something else in this set which was just thrown in randomly but helped them a lot. which was this guy, Swap Me. So Swap Me wasn't actually in the set. He was released as a box topper. So if you were to buy one box of GBT01, you would get a pack of cards and Swap Me was inside. So Swap Me skill is on call, Counter Blast 1 Jewel Knight.
You get to call one Regal out.
Call 1 Jewel Knight, Grade 1.
A special calling.
Yep. So this gave the Royal deck
more
early game pressure, which was kind of strange because it was intended to be used in Jewel Knight deck, but it created a new kind of deck, which was
Sing Jewel Knight.
This Jewel Knight deck with the Seeker Sing Saver inside. So it was very a bit sad on Bushiroad's part because they wanted the ultimate deck to be popular, but no one is using it. Everyone's using this guy.
Yep.
And Same Blow didn't help that much at all. Hey, and for Kagero.
Kagero Flare. This was one of the Triple R's, one of the G4s in the booster set that they released. Basically, on a GB2, his skill is actually you get to burn one entire column, which is pretty quite dope because
no counter blast
cost and all that. So it's pretty useful if you have a full field opponent. You can actually mash retire 2 one shot.
So the new Kagero are a bit different from what we got used to, which is Overlord and all that, which is they specialize in mash retiring, a bit like Narukami.
And speaking of Overlord, in this set, they actually gave a Legion Revival, which is the cross.
Yeah, so
Overlord Legion with the end.
Yeah, so this was a kind of it was kind of funny because Overlord was kind of hitting a decline. Many people are not using it, and honestly, it's understandable. It's not a limit break. It's just Counter Blast 2. It needs to hit. It's not entirely very good. So this helped Overlord decks a lot, and it made Overlord in the meta again. So
and surprisingly, right, the skill is actually quite good because when you Legion, you can actually add either or copies to your hand. Okay,
so the middle Overlord's effect is if it hits, you need to discard a Overlord and restand. A DN and restand.
Yes.
So the cross skill is to complement that. It skills if the attack did not hit,
you can actually Counter Blast 1 and drop the cross to retire 2.
Retire 2. Which is good because now, even though you can choose to add one of these to your hand, your opponent doesn't know whether you have the other copy in your hand.
Yes.
So
it's
you could entirely take, it adds to the mind game that Overlord already does initially. It's very, very good.
Yep. And other than Kagero and Royal being the meta back then.
Yeah, so the booster just made them stay the meta.
Yep. There are also other clans that were supported, namely Nova Grappler and the OTT. We'll talk about Nova Grappler first. Victor Plasma, this is the guy that allowed Nova for the very first time to be a restander. It's one of the Triple R's as well. So basically on a second strike, you actually Counter Blast 2, drop 2 cards. Okay, you -1 drive check, which means this is a twin drive. This was the very first kind that it came out with a restander, so it's pretty interesting effect that Nova actually has a Vanguard restanding, very first of its kind.
Which is interesting because Nova is all about restanding, but they never had a
Vanguard.
they had did they? Wait.
No.
Yeah, Blau series could stand a Vanguard.
Blau series could stand a Vanguard. Ethics Buster could stand a Vanguard as well.
Yep.
Break Right Reverse and all, Break Right Extreme.
But
apparently in this new G era, right, they actually introduced a very all new clan, which is the Mecha Battlers, which is what you see here. Big Plus One is a show of a Mecha Battler. Yeah.
So they introduced this I wouldn't say not archetype, not subclan, just a series of cards with the same name.
Yes.
So
back then this first booster didn't have any subclans, so you can actually tie in with anything.
So the idea was they wanted to throw out the subclan idea entirely and make people kind of play anything.
Yep.
But it wasn't that for quite the long time because Royals were still playing Sing Saver and Jewel Knights. Kagero, they were still playing Overlords, and only Nova and only Nova changed. Nova changed to playing an entirely new deck, which was using mainly support from the new set and using the Restanding Vanguard. Still, there was the Beast Deity deck, but not popular. Yeah, because they have a proper strike. Like Unique has strike into like
back then the only thing they had was the Limit Mover.
Yeah, Unique has strike into like the Cray Elemental guys.
Elemental guys because nothing else. Because of this thing, they actually for every set released ever since GBT01, they would have introduced a rare strike. So it's like a complementary strike for you all that you can use, and you don't really need to use the expensive ones.
So the rare strikes have all a similar condition. Have all very similar conditions. It's if the attack hits, an effect will happen, and usually that effect is related to the clan.
Specific, yeah.
Yeah, so for Nova Grapplers, they had restand 1 rearguard and give it plus 5k.
Yep.
So for Kagero, it's a retire 1 unit.
Retire 1 unit, and for OTT, is you hit, attack hit, you actually get to.
So OTT have a new mechanic.
Top 2 draw 1.
Yeah, so about the OTT had a new mechanic with the new OTT cards, and we had a new mechanic, which is instead of just simply drawing cards, they were to check the top like one, top 2 or 3 of the cards.
Top amounts,
then add 1 or 2 cards to hand, and then the remainder goes to bottom deck of any other. So because of that, instead of making an entirely new deck, the obvious decision was to upgrade Tsukuyomi, because Tsukuyomi did exactly the same thing. Yeah, so OTT, we didn't talk about OTT. So OTT strike effect is Counterblast 2. GB2.
Yeah, Counterblast 2.
Which actually at this time there wasn't GB2. You see, if you have one face-up unit in your G zone, you may pay the cost Counterblast 2. Select the card, this card from your G zone,
flip itself over.
face up.
It's like a Persona flip.
It's like a Persona drop, but with G units.
Yep.
And you get to check the top 4 cards of the deck, add 2 cards to the hand, and the bottom
the other 2.
Bottom the other 2, in any order. So naturally, this would be a very good complement for
OTT because you actually gain hand size.
And you help build your stack.
Yep.
Yeah, so but unfortunately for Nova Grappler and OTT, they didn't make the cut
for being the top meta.
Yeah, and the meta stayed the same with Royals, Shadow, and Kagero. Unfortunately, Gear Chronicle also didn't do anything because they have this new series of effects called GB.
Generation Break, yeah.
GB effects are this icon here.
GB1, so it's Generation Break 1, so as you have a G unit on the Vanguard on the strike zone, you can actually use their effects, which is specific to their clans.
Yeah, so it becomes a problem where you have the new clan Gear Chronicle, which all of their effects are GB1. So basically, it's very straightforward and very easy to counter them. You just don't write the Great Tree, and they can't do anything. Yeah. So because of that, they didn't
give birth to a Great Lock
meta, which was the idea of staying at grade 2 so your opponent cannot use their effects. But that didn't really work out for all the meta clans, that's why they stayed meta. Shadow had your Revenger stuff, which was Limit Break, and you had Blasted Out Revenger and all that. Kagero had your early game burn with
the pressure, the burnout,
and you had
flame.
You had this guy, which even if you happen to write the end, he still had a pressuring effect that wasn't a requirement of striding or all. Then you had Royals, which still had a problem, but now they had Swap Me, so they didn't have to worry about it anymore. They could early game pressure with calling rearguards and all that. Yeah, that is.
So that's the very first set for the very first new generation of cards that we actually came about and that the show came about.
Yeah, and what else? We talked about the meta, which it didn't change, unfortunately.
Well, for other clans that weren't supported in the very first set, Busho was actually very kind enough to release a Kree Elemental.
Yeah,
because some of us don't actually most of them might not have a chance to watch the movie and get that Harmonix Messiah. So Busho came up with a new generic clan where every clan is considered
a Kree Elemental is considered a card of every clan.
So you can actually use it in the decks that weren't supported in this set. Yeah. So back then, what this did was it made DP very strong because of Laurel. Triple Dry Check Restand,
Yeah, and also because of the new perfect guards, they didn't allow you to guard for rear. You could have a strike unit that attack a rear guard and activate Laurel skill. Overall, very good. So this set also kind of told the players what Busho was thinking of what to do with the game in general. So they were supporting every clan pretty well. I mean, like, even though Nova and the Oracle Think Tank didn't make the cut, they also had very powerful strike units and very, very broken effects. I mean, he could restand, which itself was already nobody thought it happened in the first set.
And nowadays, like, the new abilities for these clans, right, is like not what we really expected.
Yeah.
Like, Nova could restand. I mean, it was all about restanding Vanguard, but restanding Vanguard was a new thing for them.
They could, but the conditions were always like very, very messed up and it was so hard to use. So now every clan seems to have very broken effects, with the only restriction being GB1 or Generation Break as a restriction, meaning you cannot use them from your first turn.
Yeah, you have to strike and then you can use their effects.
Yep. So I think that's about it for the first booster.
So stay tuned.
We'll be doing
for the next booster.
Yep. And if you like us to do a video on Strike Generation, I think we should do that anyway. Just a video about Strike in general, maybe some other time. But for now, stay tuned for the next video,
which will feature the next set. Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense.
GBT02.
Which supported other
Soaring
clans.
Ascent. Other clans. Yep.
Other clans. So, and yeah.
Yep. And Happy New Year to all again.
Yes,
first
Happy New
day
Year.
of 2016. So go out there and have fun. You know, nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop you. So let's Vanguard.
Let's Vanguard.
Yay! All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.